Sanbonani nonke emakhaya. Whoop whoop. Sanbonani guys. Dumelang, abusheni, hello, bonjour. Da 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 da. Okay, welcome to another episode of Medi on Everything. Yeah. You know it's Maddie. You know I'm back with that fire. Yes! Let's go.
Yay.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to episode 5 of season 2 of the Maddie on Everything podcast. Guys, I'm very, very excited today because as you guys know, I always get excited when I have a guest in the studio. And today's no different, guys. Okay, as you can see, I'm feeling all happy because, you know, the woman that I have with me today in studio, I'm really excited for our conversation. She is a powerhouse. I'll speak, you know, she obviously sent me her bio. I'm going to speak to it. But from me as a person, she's a powerhouse. She is a beautiful, vibrant, confident, you know, young woman who is inspiring a generation, I really believe. You know, she is coming through from, you know, excuse me, guys. I'm putting my phone on silent. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
You're wanted.
I'm clearly very wanted.
Very in demand.
What's going on? Sorry about that. So she is pushing the culture. She is changing a generation. She is coming from having done law, which is where we met. As you guys know, I'm a lawyer. You guys should know by now. We were at Wits together. We studied together to being a public relations maven. So guys, you are not even ready. So let me actually go into a little bit of the introduction of my guest for today, okay? She is an award-winning PR maven, like I've mentioned. She has a gift for storytelling, and she is an avid reader and writer. She has co-authored 2 books, guys, not 1, 2, namely Reflections on South Africa and Robert Sobukwe, Robert Sobukwe, New Reflections. And she's also got numerous articles under her belt, which I've seen her actually posting all the time, you know, featured in different newspapers and various publications such as Sunday Times, Biz Community, Daily Maverick. You guys getting it? So after she graduated from Wits University with her LLB, she then decided to pivot into communications, guys. So do you see how we're trying to show you it's okay? Switch it up, be whoever, right? And she completed her vacation work at one of the leading law firms in South Africa, one of the top 5, which is E&S. And then she also then later got a spot to do her articles at E&S. She served as the vice chairperson of the Law Students Council, and she was a contestant on the TV show OneDayLeader, which we're going to get into. So, you know what, we still got a lot to actually go into. You know, there's really much to say that we're still going to go into, but I want to let you guys know before we get right into it. Like, I know already you can see what I'm talking about. We've got the beautiful Miss Anele Nzimande, now, after being married, referred to, and her new name is Anele Maphanga. Welcome to Maddie on Everything.
Yay. New name, who says? Thank you for having me, girl. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for honoring my invitation.
Of course.
How you been?
Been good.
You've been good?
Can't complain. Don't complain.
You don't complain?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try not to.
Talk to me about that, because you've always been quite a positive person.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm sharing with my audience that, you know, we met at university. So I met you when I was 18.
Yes.
You've always been a positive, vibrant. Like, I relate with that with you. Like, always bright-eyed.
Exactly.
I relate much.
We match each other's energy because I know you to be that too, right?
Yes.
And I think when we met in university, we stood out for being those loud, proud, unapologetically happy. And I think a lot of the time, like Black women, especially when we think of our mothers and our grandmothers, joy is not something you associate with them, unfortunately, because they carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. You know, I was raised by a single mother.
Same here.
And I think for me, I hardly heard her laugh. Like, she was always so melancholy, and she had things to do, and she was in a rush, and she was not a woman who was at ease. And for me, I was always sort of an opposite to that. And sometimes it created conflict between us, because she just didn't understand why I was so happy. Why are you always smiling? You know, why are you this person? But for me, like, joy is rebellion. I always say that. Joy is my rebellion. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So you don't complain. You stay up. You try not to. But I'm like, that's like a motto. Like, don't complain.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
Be happy. And there's so much to be happy about in life, right?
100%.
But I tend to get that, right? Like what you're saying, because I know, like, for me, sometimes I get that as well. I think it's because I'm a very smiley, happy-go-lucky type of person.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people confuse that with, you know, lack of seriousness. Or lack of maturity. Or those are some of the things that are, or they might think you're just like a Pollyanna who, when they act in a certain way, or people do hurtful things, that it doesn't get to you.
Exactly.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like, have you gotten that kind of experience because of this joy that you're talking about, that especially in corporate, especially like in the corporate space?
You know what? I think there's the joy element, but also there's like my love for beauty. And I think sometimes when you are in a corporate space and you're a woman, you have to show up in a masculine way in order to be taken seriously. So back to your point around being a very jovial person, but also being someone who dresses up, who cares about how they look, and who's very experimental in their fashion. I love print. I love interesting items. I'm not just going to show up in like minimalism. That's not me. I'm the opposite of that. Right?
As you can see, we're both printed up.
Exactly. And so I think for me, I always just try to...
And you look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
You look gorgeous. Thank you.
I just try to honor me, who I think I am. Authenticity.
Okay.
And I know that sometimes that's going to be, you know, misconstrued or misunderstood as, oh, she's not serious, or she's not a good leader because she's always optimistic. And even how I approach people, I try to find the good in everything, as opposed to, you know, sometimes when the older that we get in our careers, and you are working with junior people, it's very easy to fall into the pattern of thinking if you want people to improve, or if you want people to do well, you have to call out like all the negatives and focus on admonishing them to get the best out of them. And my thing is always to try and find the good. And that is always the starting point. And I think the world needs more of that. I think we all have our gifts. And for me, my gift is optimism.
I love that.
I do think others have another perspective to offer, and we need pessimists.
Yes, we need pessimism.
In the ecosystem of the world, we need everyone. But that's my gift to the world, and that's my personality. Yeah.
Are you good with boundary setting? I'm going to get into like the real interview. It's just like we're getting into like, are you good with boundary setting?
I wasn't always, right? Because I think the thing with seeing the good in people.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
That's where I'm going with it. Like being someone who sees good in people.
I wasn't
because
always.
Not everyone is good. Not everyone is a good person. Yeah. Not everyone deserves that.
You learn that over time, especially as a woman, because I think we are socialized to always put the needs of others above our own. And then couple that with being a natural optimist that wants to see the good in everyone and everything. Of course, you're going to be taken advantage of. And I have been in many situations, even with friendships, right? Not just in relationships.
Girl, we should get into that one too.
Girl.
Yeah, like
woman to woman.
As a woman, hey la la.
Girl, are you doing me like
How
this?
How you doing me dirty like this? You were supposed to be my friend. I thought we friends.
Yeah, and I've just had to learn to say no. But also in the corporate space, I've had to learn to play the political game.
Okay.
You aren't going to...
It is politics, eh?
Yeah, you're not going to get the role just by getting the work done. Like performance is... That's just you getting your foot in the door.
feel
But
you.
if you want a seat at the table and you want them to serve you, the secret menu, the menu you didn't know about, you're going to have to build some relationships. You're going to have to, do a little bit more than just getting the work done.
I feel
it's a political
you.
game you have to play.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we already started off on a bang. So let's take it a couple steps back. Let's take it back to the beginning, because I know we're right there at the end.
Yeah.
So let's take it back to the beginning. So Mrs. Anele Maphanga, what inspired you to, say, I'm leaving from KZN. You're from KZN, I know. I'm leaving KZN. I'm going to Wits. I want to study law. Where did that come from? And, what's been your journey since then? I know you've shared a little bit on LinkedIn, but, you could always, go into it for the audience.
I've always wanted to leave Durban. I was born and raised in Durban. And I just always felt like I wanted to be in a big city just to
But Durban's amazing though, right? Oh, don't you think? Okay, I don't know, guys, because I love Durban. Dubani rocks. Dubani rocks.
Love Durban.
Okay. But you're right, because also, my partner for the longest time, he's from Durban. He's there. So, he's from there. And Durban people are cool, man.
You know what? I'm a Durban person, and I know great people from Durban.
Yeah, but you needed the big city lights.
It just didn't fit.
Big personality.
I don't feel like, Durban was my place.
I feel you.
In fact, when I was in high school, I got the opportunity to go to New York on a debating trip.
Oh, cool.
And it was incredible.
That's amazing.
I felt at home in New York City.
Amazing.
It felt electric.
Start spreading the news.
Right? Every city has an energy for me.
Yes.
Everywhere you go in the world.
True. Exactly.
You can feel like
yes, Durban is different to Pretoria.
The
Durban,
energy of the people, even when you're driving or you land into a city. So for me, New York at that time had that anything's possible energy.
Yeah.
And for me now, that energy is in Dubai. If you go to Dubai,
okay, honey.
it just feels
talk to us.
It feels electric.
A lot of people are loving the Dubai energy. But it's like, isn't it expensive? Isn't it just expensive? People say it's expensive and fake and just
it is those things too.
And no like real depth.
Well, there's two sides to the coin, right?
Yeah.
I do think it can be a place that is expensive, that has no depth, that is very shallow. But I also think it's a place where people are wanting to become
something because of that newness.
And you can feel that energy, like it just feels like
everyone wants to be somewhere.
We're all here to self-actualize, and the potential is endless, and every person that I meet could bring something out of me, right? Like that's the energy that you get in Dubai.
I hear you.
Whereas I feel like Durban is very much, I'm here to relax.
It is.
I'm just here for a good time.
That's why I think I like it so much, because I need to chill. Most of the time I need to chill.
No, I don't need to chill.
I grew up in Pretoria.
Exactly,
yes,
which is the opposite.
I don't want to chill.
It's the opposite.
I get
right?
you. Yes. Okay. You don't want. Yeah, I get you.
I don't. In fact, I find it to be very, very slow. And so I decided that I actually wanted to go to Cape Town.
Okay.
But I ended up going to Wits, right? Because my mother really wanted me to go to Wits. And
Wits gives you the edge. It's still my favorite institution ever. I'll never, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like a true Vitsy to the core.
Yes. You can't not be a true Vitsy.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, Vitsy for life.
Vitsy for life. It's our tagline. It's the tagline.
Exactly.
Girl.
They snapped with that, actually.
They snapped with
that. And so I went to Wits, and my mother had just passed away. So it was also one of the last conversations that I had with her, which was, you know what, I really think you should go to Wits. So I did. And then I got there and I was, grieving. But
I remember in first year, that was like, it happened in your matric
year. 2 weeks
before you started.
I needed to start university. Yeah.
Which is something heavy as well, So it was mainly because you wanted to get to a bigger city, a faster city.
Yes.
I want to get into, the lost thing. But then then you add Wits and why law?
Do you know what? Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I just didn't know what else to study.
Hectic.
I don't have like some, grand
dream
to be a lawyer. I didn't, I was like, okay, cool. I'm not sure what to study. So let me study law and see where it takes me.
Okay.
I would have been a doctor if I had gotten the marks
to
get into med school. But since I
get
didn't,
you.
I thought, okay, let me study law. But also I did at the time, right, did really feel like I could be a great human rights lawyer. I had done South Africa Model United Nations debating, and I enjoyed international relations. I enjoyed those aspects of international law. And so I thought, okay, let me study law in university.
Yes.
And maybe I can do some kind of advocacy or, human
I get
rights.
You. We are very aligned, sister. And, Anele asked me, how do I pick my guests for the show? And, I said to her that really it's people that I think that I align with in my values, my personal brand.
Yes.
And, everything that she mentions, she's speaking to why I even became a lawyer, which was to help people. That is the only thing inside of me that drove me to become a lawyer, not the money. Yes, sure. I thought, okay, this could be a lucrative career, but it was mainly because I thought, okay, this is a service-driven career. This is a career where I could change someone's life. This is a career where someone could come to me in deep need. Just like you said, medicine. That was also another option. Exactly. So I'm sensing somebody who likes to take care of people. Yeah. That's crazy.
To be corny, but to make the world a better place,
it's
right?
so true.
Yeah.
But not everyone's like that, and it's true. Not some people don't care.
True.
So I genuinely...
But I like that also because it's
the world
honest.
needs that.
It's honest. And the world actually needs more honest people because a lot of the time people pretend, right? Like, especially in the political space, right? There's a lot of pretense around wanting to make the world a better place when the underlying thing that's fueling you being in that space is actually self-interest and power
and positions and things. Yeah, I get you. That was something when I also kind of got into politics or started delving into politics in terms of trying to figure it out as a way to, change the world.
Yep.
I quickly realized that it's not what I thought it was because I didn't do politics at school. So I thought, no, let me do it, at a practical level, join parties. And I realized that it's not what you think it is. If you're looking to change the world, no shame. There are political parties that do. And I've noticed, okay, I'm not saying it's a blanket thing, but I understand where you're coming from, where you're saying you do see it a lot in the political space where people are posing to seem to want to help and change, but there's no real help or change that they're actually providing.
Yeah.
They just want to loot and, whatever, give contracts to their people.
Exactly.
And, you know what I mean?
And I think if that is something communicated up front, do you know what I like about companies? Because I went through a phase as well where I was like, companies are just self-interested and it's all about the shareholders.
And capitalism and all that. Yes.
But what I like about most organizations is that they will still have their corporate social responsibility objectives that are linked.
I like that.
To the vision and the mission, which is to make a profit.
Good.
Right?
Good, yeah.
But there is an honesty.
Yes.
In that. Like everybody knows that what has brought us together is the money, is to make money. But we still have obligations. We still have a responsibility to the community that we operate in. And I think that's fine, right? Like, we get it. Even, if I was a leader of a political party, maybe I would want to put on a few of my friends. And I think maybe that's just human nature.
True, because apparently people like to work with people that they know.
Exactly.
So I kind of get it. I'm hearing it. I got
you do.
People say that and I get it.
You trust those people because you've seen them. You've probably seen them in action.
Yes.
But I think where the disconnect comes in is when what you said to win the electorate, there's like a massive disconnect to what is happening in practice. So there's that. It's just not honest. And for me, that's where I think we should get things to. Like, just keep things honest. And also, I don't think it's fair to expect people to become politicians only to help people, because I think we all have
interesting. I like that too.
Personal goals, and
nice
self-interest,
view.
right? If I want to become a president of a country and it's really just purely out of self-ambition, I think that's okay. Right?
Exactly.
But then you need to understand the duty and the obligation that office comes with. It can't just be about you. So there needs to be that balance.
I get you. I like that. I love that. Powerful. That was powerful. So with that being said, right, so as you say, now we're here, we're at Wits, you're like, okay, I didn't even know what to study, but I could be a human rights lawyer. This could work for me.
Yeah.
And now, how was it though? Like, I wanted to just touch on that, like losing your mom, because for me, anyone who watches the podcast, because I'm running a firm with my mom. I'm blessed to have her still alive. It's something that I genuinely like appreciate, that she's still alive. How was that? I can't imagine. Like, you're strong. That's all I can say. You are a strong person. Do you think your optimism helped you? Like, how was those getting to varsity? You're 18 years old, you know, it's a new environment. You just lost your single mom. How was that for you? How did you navigate that? How was it, and how did you navigate that?
It was tragic. It was devastating because it really was like overnight. She wasn't sick for a prolonged period and she passed away. Everything happened very quickly, very, very fast. So it was tragic in that sense that it was unexpected. But I think what I learned from that experience is life goes on. So I didn't have a choice. She passed away, and 2 weeks later, the reality is that I have to go to university. Those are the facts that were before me, right? And I think you don't choose to be strong. I think that's what life demands from each and every one of us.
Yeah, no one chooses.
No.
We're placed in a position that we have to be.
You have to be strong. Otherwise, your circumstances are just going to get worse. Because if I had stayed at home and, you know, I had allowed the grief to take over, then I had absolutely no way of improving my circumstances. Like you said, she was a single mom, right? And my dad was alive at the time, but he wasn't working, and my parents had been divorced for a very long time. So I think for me, my objective was just to get to university and get my qualification so that I could honor the sacrifices that she had made. So that was also something that was always in the back of my mind, that yes, she's not here, but by becoming something and making something of my life, I give her life meaning. Wow. Otherwise, it was all in vain.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. And you have done so well for yourself.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not one to judge. I mean, it's your own personal success. But what I am seeing is very impressive. And congratulations.
Thanks, girl.
Yes. So cool. Now, then you're like, okay, cool. I'm studying. I'm a lawyer now. I want to talk a little bit about I'm studying law. I want to talk about the OneDayLeader's television show, because I feel like that was so interesting. Tell us about that. Like, that's really cool. Like, you were on TV as a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
What was the show about? How did you get in? What did you learn? How was the experience?
That was really fun. So I'm always about putting myself out there and taking any opportunity that comes my way. So I had watched OneDayLeader when I was in high school.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, one day I want to be on that show. And then the opportunity came around. I saw they were looking for entrants on an SABC1 ad. So I applied and I was shortlisted.
Girl!
And then they actually put me onto the show,
Amazing.
Right? So the show itself was around cultivating leaders around, business and socioeconomic issues. So we would debate different topics every week, and then you would come with a solution, whether it's around unemployment or service delivery. And the thing about being a youth is that we think that the answers are so simple to some of these problems. And what I've learned is that there is so much bureaucracy and complexity that comes with solving what looks like a very simple problem to you when you're in university. And so, that was an incredible experience. I met some amazing people on the show. And for me, it was just one of those things that I'd always had on my
bucket list,
vision board. And I finally, got the opportunity.
Oh, that is amazing. That is really cool. So then after OneDayLeaders and, studying and, doing your articles, this is now...
I didn't do my article.
Oh, okay. Well, securing your article.
Securing my
Okay,
articles.
well, tell us the story. Go on. Tell us the story. So we were still on the journey because it's the journey, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that I didn't want to be a lawyer. I just didn't know what else I could do, what I wanted to do.
So even when you're studying law at the stage,
100%.
So you're still feeling like I'm disconnected.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're like...
I hated it.
Is it?
Oh my God. I absolutely hated law.
But you didn't know what it was that you were...
Well, I couldn't.
Going for, you were still...
I couldn't drop out.
Yes.
It was either finish the degree that you hate or drop out.
Or start again or something like that.
With what money, babes?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Or start again from can you imagine?
So I think, you just have to be practical in life. Sometimes we don't need to be too deep. I do understand that nowadays people want to prioritize, their mental health and all of that. But I had to go through that.
Anele is a soldier. Are you guys listening? She's like, girl.
You have to.
She's like, guys, please, it's not that deep. And I agree.
You gotta do because I have nobody to go back to at home. My dad is not working. So I need to finish this degree so that at least I can have something when I'm looking into pivoting into my next step, right? And for me, it was just being practical in that sense that, okay, this is what I've studied. I've managed to secure a bursary when I got to Wits. Let me finish and then I can figure out the next step. And I think a lot of the times we feel like we need to have everything figured out.
Okay.
But maybe it's okay to just know what you need to do now at this point in time.
Girl.
And
yes.
Then, exactly.
Yes. I'm feeling you at a spiritual level because that's all about that presence of mind.
Yeah.
That thing of be still, be in the now because we're always living in the future. We're living in the past. And we're living oh my gosh,
so good.
How about we deal with just today?
Yeah, just today.
Just
right now.
I signed up for my law degree. Let me finish my law degree.
I'm going to finish it. And then I'm going to answer the
rest, we'll see.
The existential crisis later.
Within me, yeah.
Right, because there was a lot of things. I hate law. I'm grieving my mom. And it took me a long time to even, get to a place. It took me 8 years. I was counting. And so I think you can't, sometimes you really do have to defer the breakdown because you need to do the thing that you need to do in the moment. And being a mom, because I am a mom now, teaches me that every day because you need to show up for your child. You also need to show up for your husband, show up for yourself. And by show up for yourself, I mean doing the things that need to get done today before you can address whatever emotional, spiritual crisis you may be going through. And I know that's something that's, kind of not popular. But I don't think that makes you someone who's not interested in your mental health, by the way. I think it just can make you somebody that's very practical because you don't want your whole life to unravel, right? Because you're dealing with something emotionally. We need to find a way to balance everything. And that's what I was doing when I was in university, finishing a degree that I hated. Then I finished it. And then I did work as a lawyer, as a legal researcher for a year. Because I ended up not going to ENS. I ended up joining the Center for Applied Legal Studies.
Yes, I remember.
In the Business and Human Rights unit.
Yes.
But also, I was pregnant.
Yes.
And so I couldn't register for articles because there was this complication around...
Oh, if you're pregnant and all that. I remember.
You can't go on maternity leave.
I remember, guys. That actually is something that we need to talk about.
On maternity leave.
You were mentioning something. No, I remember. And they do this in the big law firms. If you are pregnant as a candidate attorney or whatever, guys,
Yeah. It is a very
we
sexist
go through
law.
a lot as
It's a lot.
as women.
It's
man.
a lot. So I couldn't register for my articles, but also
But I love that for you, Mama. I
know.
love that for you.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're a mom, and I want to talk more about that because I want to be a mom. I'm not yet a
love
mom,
being
but
That's
I'm getting there.
amazing.
Not yet. I'm getting there. So
You'll be a great mom.
thank you.
You will.
Thank you. I receive.
You'll be an amazing
I
mother.
receive. Thank you. I can't wait. I'm just waiting for my baby daddy to show himself. You know what I'm saying?
He
He
will.
will.
Out there.
He's out.
Show yourself.
Ziveze.
Come on.
Okay, so you were saying, go on.
So I couldn't do my articles, and then in that year while I was working, I was like crying all the time because I hated the work that I was doing.
Okay.
So
like something in your spirit was just like, I don't want to plead.
I was like,
you didn't like the way that you were helping people. You wanted to help people, but you didn't like this the lens of law.
Correct,
basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
It wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
And so I did the year again because I didn't want to just leave without a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a baby involved.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more pressure to actually be making money to provide for somebody else. And then I decided to resign. I didn't find a job immediately. I think I was 9 months without work. But I was busy. I started a fashion line.
Yes.
And I would do pop-ups. Because I honestly just think...
Hustlers unite. Entrepreneurs unite.
Be busy.
Guys, be
do
busy.
something. Even if it's not bringing in, the millions, I think that
the momentum
will bring you opportunities.
What Anele speaks of is just like, I think everyone needs to get this. Guys, when you do, because it's business, like sometimes I'm on the podcast, I'm talking to people about being an entrepreneur. I notice on YouTube, there's a lot of people who might come with a thing of, look, my business makes 8 figures a year, so this is why you should listen to me. I'm not there. I am a business owner. The figures that I'm making, not yet relevant to you yet. But I'm just trying to say that the fact that I've started, I'm seeing the progress. I'm seeing, and like you're saying, that momentum builds up.
Yep.
You launch a fashion line, you sell one thing. Sometimes you don't even sell anything, but you're sending a signal to the universe.
100%.
And the more that you put yourself out there, the more that you get used to it, the more that things just, so that momentum, I think what I'm sensing is that people are, when you talk to people like, no, start a business. Oh, you're not happy with your job. They expect that, like, I don't know, that it should be successful from
day
the
one.
very beginning.
Yo,
Do you know what I mean?
Zama.
People don't want to put aside their ego, like you were saying as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah?
Yeah, girl.
Talk to me.
Girl.
Say it. Let it out.
It's taken me years to become this person. From the pain and of the loss.
True. Okay, I hear you.
You said that I was very confident, but there were moments where I didn't feel confident, and I had to dig deep within myself. Right? Because I don't have somebody that's affirming me, that is saying, of course I have my siblings, I have and this is not to discredit the network, but there is nothing like, I held my son this morning and I cupped his face in my hands and I said, oh, my handsome boy.
Yeah.
And what I would give to have my mother do that for me, her to be the wind beneath my wings. So there's that. And then, just like dealing with all the disappointments, of a degree that I didn't enjoy and the work that I hated, but also becoming a mother at a very young age and just the challenges that came with that. And I guess the point being that you really have to decide that whether you're seeing the movement or not, you're going to put your gas on the pedal. Because it was years where I was literally the person that I had in my head that I thought this is who Anele is. The reality did not match up to that. I think I only bought my first car I think I was 27 when I bought my first car. And by then, everybody around me
already had a car and things like that.
All my friends didn't have children.
Yes, and you had it.
And I had one. And it was I felt like such a disappointment to myself. There was a time where I was unemployed, like I said, and I was still busy and doing these things, but I could even feel the energy around me had shifted, that people were like, okay, her life seems to not be coming together. And people would ask me all the time, like, what are you doing? And I would say, I'm trying to figure out my next move. And they would say, but why don't you just go back into law? Because they wanted me to give them something tangible, something that they could understand. And even I was still trying to understand what I needed to do next. And so when I got my next job opportunity, which was as a producer in television for the big debate, I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do.
Interesting.
Like, the dots still hadn't been connecting, but I was just like, okay, gotta keep moving. You know, when you watch Finding Nemo and she says, just keep swimming, that was me. I was just like, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just whatever you do, don't stop. Whatever it is, do something. In fact, there's a verse in Ecclesiastes that says, whatever whatever work your hands find to do, do it diligently. God blesses it. Like just find something to do with your hands.
That is so good.
Diligently.
Amen. Anything.
Just find something.
And God will bless it. Anything.
The word says, he blesses the what? The work of what? Of your hands. He blesses the work of your hands. Find some work and do it yourself. The work of your hands, not somebody else's.
Are you guys listening? Is everyone listening? I just need people to listen. Is everyone hearing?
Don't.
The gents, the engineers, are y'all listening?
It's not that complicated. And so for me, I was just like, okay, I just need to find stuff to do. And I know that like grace will be poured out over it.
Okay.
Eventually I made my way into an agency and
like a marketing agency,
a branding agency.
Yes, this is now after being a producer.
I had now done television.
Yes, and you're getting all the networks in there.
I'm getting all the networks. I'd freelanced a little bit.
Yes,
and
because you're hustling.
Because I'm hustling.
You're putting yourself out there.
Freelancing, babes.
Freelancing.
I even started my own media company.
You understand?
While I was waiting. Because I'm waiting. Again, just finding work for my hands to do, never being idle. Because being idle will keep you stagnant and it will breed resentment because you're not seeing any movement. And then once you start to become resentful, you start to feel like the world is against you.
Owes you something, hates you.
Your mindset starts to be, people like me don't get opportunities. People like me don't get, it's only people like Zama, it's only people like Anele.
Exactly.
But what people don't really care what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
They just want to see somebody that's working hard, that's in pursuit of growth, of progress. I think that's what gets you a great network and the kind of support that you want.
You are speaking the truth, baby.
Yeah.
Girl, yes, you are touching me. Yes,
Yeah, girl.
no. Girl, you
Nobody
are.
cares what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's why when people will always say, like, is there money in PR? Or is there money in this? And my belief is that there's money in anything.
Yes.
There's money in everything.
There's money everywhere.
You just have to be the person that people want to give the money to.
What?
Because you could do law and
Drop bombs.
You could not be making the money that everybody else is making.
Because you're a pathetic lawyer.
Exactly.
You understand? I feel you. Are you doing your work diligently?
Yes.
I feel you quite a lot. So now then you got into the marketing agency and, and then that's when, is this now this beginning of your journey into...
That's when things started
This is now click. She's shifting. Now she's
I'm like, now it's clicking. This is what I need to do. In fact, I had already started to feel like maybe I should be in communications.
Okay.
This is way back when I was doing current affairs television. But I was like, how do I get there? So between the time that I knew what I wanted to do and who I wanted to become was maybe another 5 years.
Your story is powerful to me. And I think it'll be powerful to whoever decides to watch because what I've gained in this past, probably 45 minutes as we, get to the culmination is you spent a lot of your earlier years in struggle. It's in certain types of struggle. You know what I mean? But who you are today, you basically went through the tough times to figure out who you are inside. lost your mom, got pregnant young, had your friends, like you said, energy shift around you where you could feel that like everyone's judging you because your path looks different, right? Because obviously when you go to Wits, everyone's like, okay, yeah, we study 5 years, whatever, then we all get a job and then we're all going to become, especially with lawyers. We're candidate attorneys and then we're all associates and then senior associates and then directors. And you're like, nah. And I'm the same. I took a different path. And trust, the side eyes and the misunderstanding is a real thing. The fact because you have that thing of wanting to fit in.
Yes.
Right? Which I've also had to learn to get over.
Yeah.
You know, the fitting in part.
Yeah.
To say, I want to be accepted, but your life and your path is different to other people. Today, you are the PR lead of a multinational company, Unilever. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to share, like show that people, and and like you said, people will see you today. That's why I wanted you here. People will see you today and be like, oh, Anele.
She's so perfect.
She's so perfect. Oh. She's going to Paris Fashion Week because I know she was there. Yeah. She's going to all these things, but they don't know where you come from. They're judging you for today.
Oh.
They don't know where you come from. And that's the part that I'm trying to let people know, to say, guys, the struggle breeds the diamond. The pressure breeds the diamond, you know. The darkness breeds the butterfly. You know what I'm saying? It's being in that cocoon that you then come out and become this beautiful person. But people don't want struggle. People don't want and this is what you were talking about earlier on. These are the thematics you were talking about, to say, I sometimes have to push my mental health aside because I need to get stuff done. And now when you have the results, sometimes people will be like, oh, she's so lucky. No, you worked hard. You made sacrifices. You took risks. Risks that other people wouldn't even. And I feel like you are highly rewarded for it today.
Do you know what? So the biggest indicator of a person that's going to be successful is not talent. It's not a network. Yeah. It's grit. The people that are going to be successful are the people who have grit.
I feel you.
And that is someone who, if you look at those documentaries of, you know, people who are in the Olympics, or people who are playing at a very high level, tennis players, basketball players, there's a lot of grit and confronting everything that's wrong with you, because it's not, the world is not the place that has, you know, the troubles and the problems. Sometimes you're the problem. Yes. And you have to confront everything that is wrong with you. Because I had to look at, okay, there were certain things that had happened to me that were outside of my control, like the loss of a parent. But some of the things were in my control, like not falling pregnant. and I added more adversity into my life. But because
that is so honest, as you would say. And it's difficult, like you're saying, people to take a hard look at yourself.
You have to.
And challenge yourself.
How do you change things without really looking at the ugliness of it, right? And I think being in corporate, when we look at how do we improve our bottom line, you need to look at your top line, you need to look at your shares, you need to really get into the detail. And I think that's how we end up not growing, because we don't want to get into the detail. You don't want to get into the ugly of, okay, this is how my parents' separation impacted me. This is how it influenced my choices in relationships and friendships. And why am I seeking affirmation and validation externally? Maybe I need to work on my relationship with myself or my relationship with God, if that's something that you know, believe in. And so for me, I really sat with myself for those years. Yes. I sat with myself so much.
I know you did. I can tell. And you can tell when someone sat with themselves.
I cried so much. And I also had to like put myself on the dark and demand questions of myself and cross-examine myself.
The crying part is a real thing, eh? And you cry by yourself on the bed.
No, I've cried.
Because you're going in. You're going in.
No, I don't cry like that anymore. You know,
it's done. Like you get over it then, because you've released.
So
you've released. Yeah.
But I would wake up my child. And I had to leave the bed to go cry in the bathroom or in the living room.
To let it out.
To let it out. And he would wake up and search for me like, Mommy. But I cried so much. I cried so much. And it's okay to cry.
Thank you. Guys, I cried too. Girl, when you
But
said,
you can't
I can
stay
relate.
there.
No, you can't stay there. It's a place you go.
Don't stay there.
Let yourself go there, let it out, but don't stay there. No, but
Yeah.
it's the stepping stone. Because the thing is, you cry until you can't cry anymore.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You cry
Exactly.
until you realize that, like, okay, I actually can't actually cry anymore.
I've cried all the tears there are to cry.
So now it means I need to actually get up, dust myself off,
Girl.
and get my mojo back, you know?
And that rebirth is always so beautiful because you are always better than you were before.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, so I cried until I could cry no more.
Yeah.
And I think I was always just committed to the vision, to my dreams, that I could still be good at something. Because when you failed at something,
I hear you.
you think you're a failure.
Yes.
But you forget that you can be good at something else.
Failed relationship, like you said, why did I get pregnant? Feeling bad for
I'm bad
my
at
boyfriend
law,
dumped me. What happened? I'm the
just bad at
problem.
everything.
Yes.
But you forget that maybe this is just that wasn't the path for you. Like, you could be good at something else. And just giving myself permission to be good at something else and to have a life that I could be proud of. And so eventually I ended up at Procter & Gamble, which is another FMCG.
P&G, yes.
And now I'm at Unilever.
Yes, you had Unilever. You just dropped a hectic campaign with, I've been seeing you on LinkedIn, the Vaseline and the
Glazed
Krispy
and
Kreme, the glaze. Girl, and you are glowing right now. What? I should have asked you to bring me some samples.
Oh, we can always arrange that.
Thank you. Y'all see? Do you guys see that? Actually, we must have some brand partnerships. Yeah,
I understand.
You understand that? 'Cause
Exactly.
I actually want to go back into some of, the things that I said I was going to go back into, right? So I want to read, so as you were saying, your work experience includes FMCG, Procter & Gamble, Unilever.
Yeah.
You've been working on certain campaigns that have been recognized by the Effies. And you've been recently featured on the Global Citizen stage in New York for hashtag Blood Sisters, a leading the Always Sanitary brand, the sanitary pad brand. And then I see that you're saying this work caught the attention of Michelle and Melinda Gates. That's amazing. And Amal Clooney. That is amazing. And I remember that campaign. You guys did a whole dance thing.
did.
I remember that campaign. Girl,
I'm
you see,
so glad
I
you
checked. I've been
remember.
following you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
You did a
Yeah, we
dance
did.
thing and it looked really fun.
It was so cool.
Yes.
So cute. Yeah.
And then you've worked on Dove. So you've worked on different brands, basically. You work with different brands. So you worked with Dove and you did the Real Beauty campaign. And you guys released the State of Real Beauty report, which identified artificial intelligence as a rising threat. Okay. Oh, creating unrealistic beauty standards. That is interesting.
Yeah.
That is very, very interesting. I love this.
Because AI image generation is a big thing now, right?
Let's go into it because, let's take a moment for AI because we're going through the work things. But yes, AI is a problem in that sense because not a problem, but it is a machine that is coded or has biases that is based on the people that are coding it.
Correct.
So if you ask Google, show me a picture of a beautiful woman, she's probably going to be blonde, Caucasian, and skinny.
Exactly. So you
no
actually
hate to
nailed
anyone.
it. That's what the campaign. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the campaign, but that's exactly what it was addressing.
because I've been reading about the AI issues, and there's a lot of advocacy around the whole bias of AI.
Yes. And I mean now
you can go into more about it, but
Look,
that's kind of the high level
I
that
think you've summed it up, right? It's the fact that most of the images that young people are going to now see online will be AI image generated. And so what does that do for a young girl, a young man's self-esteem? especially when we know like representation. We just managed to get that right. We're just about
and
managing. We're just about managing,
tricky.
right?
Exactly. Yes.
And now you introduce AI, which has the biases that we're just about fixing in the real world. So I think that's the issue, is how do we then make sure that those AI biases don't exist? And if you're typing South African woman, it can actually capture the diversity and the beauty of what a South African woman looks like.
Beautiful. I love that. So Anele, from working with Dove, you've also worked with pioneering the iconic brand partnerships between Makhosa and Tresemme. That was very interesting. Is that why you were in Paris Fashion Week? That was really dope. Makhosa and Tresemme. And another one that I really want to go into is your Her Power Africa community. I want you to talk a little bit about that, because that is your personal power project. And so currently she's the head of public relations for beauty, well-being and personal care at Unilever South Africa. She's managing top brands such as Vaseline, Dove, Shield, Lifebuoy, Axe, and many more other groundbreaking PR campaigns. Influencers, as you can see, this is the lady you want to talk to. I can you guys know yourselves. I'm here. I'm introducing you to the relevant people.
Wow,
You understand? So, babe, you are working a very... listen to this. Anele was named at the top 20 women to look out for in 2024 by New York Weekly. I am so happy to say that this is a friend of mine, a colleague of mine. I'm just, you guys will see this probably, but babe, I'm very, very proud of you. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of us.
Yes. We out here. So tell me a little bit more as we, coming to the end of our session, I want to learn more about your Her Power. And then I want you to close me off with the journey in motherhood, because we never your journey in motherhood and being a wife. I want us to end it off with your personal projects, and that's it.
Okay, so Her Power Africa is a community of women who are championing each other and just helping each other to step into their personal power. And what that really means is, a lot of the time, all people need is a support system. They need somebody to cheer them on. You need to be able to identify what are the things in your life that are holding you back. And sometimes it is a mindset. Sometimes it's a relationship. Sometimes it's also just your inability to identify what it is that you're good at and how you need to show up in the world. And so we have different master classes that we host.
Okay.
We did one on finances and building generational wealth.
Okay. I'll definitely come through to one or two or more, but I'll definitely support.
Come through. Yeah. We had a chartered accountant.
Amazing.
An actuary, and we also had somebody from Momentum that was part of that. It's really about giving you practical tools in your daily life that you can apply, but in a safe space. We never have more than like 30 women because it can get very overwhelming when it's, a huge amphitheater. So it's around a table. We all have breakfast together and we eat together, and then we host the masterclass. We do have like a screen and slides. So there's a lot of research that goes into it. But really...
And you have a partner?
I have a partner, Bonolo Smith.
Okay, awesome.
And she is a professional coach. So she's a certified leadership coach.
Okay.
So it's really about...
I like the collaboration.
Yeah, it's really around, leadership and how to own your personal power, how to make sure that when you're in a room, right, you're able to like leverage, your ability to speak to the right people, to say the right things. So it's really just around that. And we have a community of about over 1,000 people on Instagram. And we are based in Joburg for now.
Okay.
And I think we're going to keep it that way. People keep saying, when are you coming to Cape Town? When are you coming to Durban?
Yeah.
We're not coming. I'm just joking.
I love that we're not coming.
Maybe we'll come. I mean, I just think sometimes you need to start the thing.
Yes.
If you're in Cape Town, you start the
do
thing.
the branch there in Cape Town. We'll come visit you. I get you. Okay, no, but I mean, I see the impact. I see the master classes that you're doing, and it looks like it's creating a shift and
100%, because a lot of people have like these limiting beliefs, these limiting thoughts, and sometimes it comes from your upbringing, things that were said to you or said about you, and it's really just getting into that and unraveling it so that you unlocking that personal power, because sometimes we think that the power is out there. And I spoke to this like earlier on.
Yes, you did.
You have to sit with yourself.
That like, why am I seeking external? Yes. Why do I think that this is going to come from something outside of myself?
Everything that you want changed in the world, you will have to change. And we spoke about how, you can't just let life happen to you. You have to happen to life.
She dropped the bars on me.
You have to happen to life.
She dropped them bars on me.
You set the agenda. And if you're not setting the agenda, then you're really going to be just wallpaper.
Exactly. You're gonna just be, you'll allow other people to use you in their story, and I want to just touch on that one. Will Smith said, there was this thing where Will Smith, he was, I think, on Drink Champs or anything, and I can't get over it, but he was talking about, guys, I'm talking to when you get to the end of materialism, you get to the end of all these external things. What do you realize? What are you looking for? You're looking for yourself. That is what you find. At the end of, I'm going out, I'm drinking, I'm hooking up with all these people. After all of that, what is it that you are faced with? That's you. So you can chase. That's another thing. You can chase. You can do all these things. But if you're not right with yourself, you're probably going to be just running around in a circle, because I understand what you're saying about we need grit. We need to be moving forward. We need to be doing all these things. But also, it's not to say that you need to do that with intention. You need to do that with mindfulness of, I know who I am. I know when I'm stepping into this room. I'm not just podcasting because I'm podcasting. I'm putting intention into this. I want anyone who watches this to be like, this changed my life. It is purpose.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But how are you going to know who you are? And how are you going to build that intention?
Exactly.
You have to taste the coffee to be able to determine whether you're a coffee person or not.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times people will say, I don't like coffee. And you've never tasted coffee.
Yes.
And my thing is, open yourself up to the world. That's what Will Smith is saying there. He's saying, okay, you've done the materialism. You've done, not saying, sleep with the people or whatever. But sometimes you really do have to push the envelope and explore and figure out, who do I want to be? Like, who do I want to be really?
You're right. And if you never take any risks, you never start any fashion businesses that you drop or take with you, or you never start a podcast that you either take or drop, whatever, you'll never really get there.
You won't know.
Which is what you did, which is like, okay, I'm doing law, whatever. And you got to figure out who you were. And now you are who you are today. And we're still growing.
Do you know what Dolly Parton says?
What does Dolly Parton say?
She says, find out who you are and then do it on purpose.
That's it. Find out who you are and then do it on purpose. Lastly, talk to me about journey of motherhood. Like I said, I don't have kids yet. I want kids. Being a wife, I don't have a husband yet. I would love to get married. So the last thing I'd like you to just close it off with, any tips for me, for viewers who are like me, 30 plus, single, not married, no kids, what to expect, how's the journey been? I know it's different for everyone, but how's your journey been? And also lastly, I know we've already been giving a lot of tips and advices, but also just any tips for young women, specifically young women and men who might want to, follow a similar path that you have.
The tip is, girl, get up. Don't stay down. Life will try to knock you down. Get up.
Okay.
And I think it's okay to not be in a marriage. It's okay to be single, to be child-free, not childless, child-free. I think that's a very powerful position to be in because you can work on yourself. I do know, though, from my friends, my single friends, is that it's not always easy to be single. It is very lonely. But I just don't want people to think that there's anything wrong with it,
exactly.
right?
There's nothing wrong with you.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yes,
obvious.
You're fine. You're okay.
My journey has been, you know what? My husband is a very kind man. And I think kindness and consideration, those are key ingredients to like a successful relationship, successful marriage. And you should definitely prioritize that. I've loved being a mother. I had such a great mom. She was so kind as well, so loving. Even though she didn't make space for like joy fully for herself, she was sacrificial. That was her approach. I think my approach to motherhood is to show my children, even though I still have one for now, is to show them that that moms can be fun and they can have joy and they are their own person. I'm not just your mother. I am an independent woman with dreams of my own, with a fashion style and a flair. And I impose myself on the world, and I want that to learn that from me so that they can do it for themselves. But also because I have a young boy, I don't want him to think that when a woman is married, then she has to dim her light for him, right? And I think for me, it's just also setting that bar for what he can expect.
I love that.
For women in the future. That women, they must come in their fullness, and I would love for him to be with a partner who feels around him that she can be her fullest self.
I love that, and I think that speaks to how we started this conversation. So it's like a full circle, because this is exactly how you started the conversation, and sort of saying that, you know, I am showing up as my fullest self, and you ending it off by saying, even in marriage, even as a wife, even as a mom, this is my approach to life, to my relationships, that I'm not going to sacrifice myself, you know, to, you know, now my whole identity is being consumed by the fact that I'm a mother. No, I am Anele, you know, and I'm an individual, you know, and yes, I am a mom too. I am a wife too. So I really love that. And I think it's good advice, because I think a lot of women, you know, when we get the idea of being a wife and, you know, the whole, you know, I don't know, being submissive or whatever, I think people let go of they drop their careers, they drop their friends, they drop themselves, don't even take care of themselves, let themselves go, don't even go to the gym, don't even do makeup, don't do hair, nothing. They're like, no, for the kids, no, the husband. And then they get surprised when, you know, so I get you, love on you. I don't want to go into and then they get surprised when what? I don't know, because I haven't been married.
Can I tell you something? Children are brutally honest. Even when I drop him off at school in the morning, he will say, Mama, you cannot wear that.
Yeah.
So I need to be on my A game.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, and kids are honest. Hey, I've seen from my like little nieces, those are like, they don't have a filter. No. It's Bruce. No, Anele, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for honoring this conversation. It's been amazing to have you. Guys, it's been amazing. As you can see, Anele is a star, a superstar. I hope that you guys have been inspired by her journey. It's been episode 5 of season 2. I'll definitely see you guys for season 2, episode 6, in the next cut. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Anele, for being here.
Thank you.
Love you. Love you, babes.
Love you, honey.